Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tennessee Twos Disc Golf Podcast. Um, yeah, it's episode 14,
Yeah,
15, 14,
14.
14.
Sorry, was you?
This
Was
is uh, this is ridiculous. We're gonna be going over the Waco Charity Open. Pretty excited about that. There was a lot of really cool stuff that happened. We've got a couple of repeat segments that we're gonna be doing today. And then this weekend, as long as nothing goes wrong, we're going to give you our very first Tennessee Twos After Hours episode. Should only be about 10, 15 minutes long, and we're going to cover everything related to Belton at that time. So we're actually going to wait until after the round two and kind of cover it, give our predictions for round three, and hopefully we can get that out to you live on Saturday night.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, anyways, after that, I'm just going to go ahead and kick it over to my co host, Ethan. My name is Daniel Bacon. Thank you guys for joining us. Ethan has some stuff to tell us.
Yeah. I first off, thank you guys for listening. To every platform out there. We're gonna go over some of our numbers that we've hit in the first 13 episodes. Um, Tonight making our 14th. Um, we've really been on the growing train as of late, and we have hit so far with our audio listeners 15 states and 7 international countries. Um, so I would like to shout out everybody um, from Norway, United Kingdom, Sweden, Germany, Estonia, Japan. Thank you guys and girls. We really do appreciate it, and that's awesome that we've been able to reach um, all of you out there. Um, Also, gonna go over a little bit of our follower counts and kind of our growth on our other social media platforms. And with that, we on Facebook we go live every Tuesday night, or at least we try to every Tuesday night, as long as everything's willing and working. Um, but we are at 146 followers on our Facebook. Um, we are at 202 Instagram followers. We're at 72 Twitter followers, and we have just made a TikTok. Literally just posted 3 videos the past 3 days. Got I think 4 followers so far. So we're about to start trying to grow that. And then on YouTube, which YouTube is very hard to grow on, but we have 9 subscribers on our YouTube, and basically that is just a backlog for our videos of our live podcast. Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Coming very soon this summer, we'll have a Tennessee Twos, just a Tennessee Twos disc golf channel that
yes,
will not be related to the podcast in terms of
correct.
episodes and stuff like that. It'll still be us, but it'll be us actually playing and doing some stuff. As the weather gets better and hopefully gas prices go down, so we can
Yeah,
go try out new places and do cool videos for you guys.
yeah,
I'll tell
exactly.
you what.
And we,
I'll tell
and
you what.
I tell you what, and we definitely have some really, really cool video ideas. Um, I hope nobody does it before we get to. Um, Ours are pretty intricate, so hopefully not, but um, I'm excited about them.
Yeah. And of course, we've got some really cool ideas for some stuff that we haven't seen anybody do, but we'll also do some of the fun ones that
Oh
everybody
yeah,
does too.
yeah,
We'll do some bag swaps and
exactly.
challenges that, you guys recommend from time to time as well.
Yeah,
We'll have some fun with it up there.
if y'all have any ideas, shoot them at us. We will definitely consider doing them. The more fun, the better.
Yeah.
Um,
But absolutely, as Ethan said, we just want to thank you guys so much for the love and support so far and the growth that we've experienced. It has been an awesome time.
yes,
And so, if you guys are trying to reach me specifically, I'm usually the one who does most of the Twitter. If you guys are looking for Ethan, go check out Instagram.
yep,
We both dabble in both from time to time, but that's usually how we split it up. He does
yeah.
all the pictures and videos, and I do the trash talk.
it's
So
just it's just the way that it works out.
But
Um,
I won't. You don't expect to find me on Reddit. All right, Reddit is a toxic cesspool, and I refuse to go there. My trash talk isn't that bad.
it might step your game up a little though. Who knows?
Oh yeah, but I don't want to step it. I mean, maybe if I had a burner account, but
Oh man,
uh,
it doesn't even matter what kind of thread you're on Reddit. It's just it,
somebody
it's
smack talking,
it's there, guaranteed.
guaranteed.
But maybe it's not too bad of a thing. Maybe we should look into it eventually.
I'm out.
He said, "I'm out." All right.
Look, you know what?
It might be my turn to trash talk some.
We both know that that's not going to happen, man. Your whole concept of your personality is stay positive. There's no way
Yeah,
you're going on Reddit and smack talking.
yeah, you're right.
It's just not
Yeah,
happening.
I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I hope you have a great day."
Like, I
Uh,
hope you enjoy yourself on the course today.
I hope you
Play disc
find
golf.
I hope you find that disc you've been looking for a year.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm just gonna say, good luck trying to be mean while saying nice things using only words.
True.
It's very hard to do. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. They're gonna have to
Sarcasm,
they're gonna have to sympathize with me, okay? That's just the way it has to go. Okay.
sarcasm's hard to
Um
understand. You know.
well, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of the Waco recap. Um what like
Waco.
what do you think, man? First off, let's go over the coverage. All right. Um the MPO coverage and the FPO coverage. Did you notice that final round of the MPO coverage took so long to go live? Like the aftermath, like the afterthought of it. Like the FPO was up within like 20 minutes after it was finished, and they do say 2 to 3 hours. So I was like, yeah, they did awesome on the FPO. On the MPO, it was 5 hours. It was five
I
hours
couldn't tell
after.
you, honest to God, I watched live, and I
Yeah,
wasn't even at my house when they went live. I literally pulled back up to my house 5 minutes before the lead card teed off, so I
right.
missed the chase card tee off. So
Got
I
you.
couldn't tell you.
I was out all day, so I was like,
Yeah,
when I got home, I was like, I gotta watch, I gotta watch, I gotta watch,
and it
but
wasn't even there.
it wasn't even there. But it's okay, it's all good. Um,
My complaint is that I don't know if it was something that was wrong with my computer just doing it, or if it were their servers. And I wasn't having any issues on my mobile app. But anytime I was watching from a computer, and I tried two different computers, I tried the MacBook that I have, and I tried our streaming PC here. And I'll tell you what, every 10 to 15 minutes, the stream would die. The network connection would just kill itself.
right. Hmm.
I checked my internet, no issues with my internet, like everything was fine. And then the other thing that happened out there, outside of that, you just had an error out there too.
Oh, really? I didn't know
The
that.
UDisk servers went down and they stopped uploading for a few minutes. They
Hmm.
even had to retract a couple of comments on um, on the coverage where they kind of said, "Don't look at that. Scores are wrong." It was during the FPO side. Scores haven't updated properly yet. It's still showing that she's got a bogey, but she birdied, blah 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 blah. So I don't know what was going on
Yeah,
with UDisk.
that's weird.
They had a couple of issues too.
Hmm.
It didn't last very long. It was like five
Yeah,
minutes, but
they was able to get it resolved pretty quick.
yeah.
That's good. So,
So that was interesting.
yeah,
One one of the things before we get into the actual tournament itself, um, speaking of coverage, while we're still on the topic of it, I wanted to talk about how on Twitter one of the resounding things that I've heard, particularly this year, is a lot of people saying, I don't want to watch and I don't need to watch post produced coverage anymore. Disc Golf Network is where it's at.
yeah,
And I think that's huge because there's been a lot of complaints the last couple of years over the type of coverage, the quality of coverage, so on and
yeah,
so forth. But the fact that people are coming out all over the place saying that the live coverage has been so good so far this year that it makes them not even want to go back and watch post produced is huge.
And I'll tell you,
Now,
I'll tell you another reason for that too is there's no spoilers in live disc golf, right? There's no
nope.
spoilers in live sports, and people that are waiting for that next day are struggling. No, it's different than it used to be. Even last year, you didn't know how it played out most of the times, but it seems like really after Worlds last year, the trend started to go, okay, I I need to know what happens, when it happens. And
Yes.
I
And
that could be the big turning point, honestly. That one shot, it really could have been a big turning point.
yeah, and I think the thing that people are really liking as well, this tended to be the biggest reason people had been mentioning they're loving the live coverage over that post produced has been, especially in rounds 1 and 2, or rounds 1, 2, and moving day if there's a fourth round. Um, it's been the coverage of cards that are not the lead card, because
Yeah.
we all know that they stepped up their game when they did the pay per view for USDGC. One of the things that they had mentioned, that part of the reason that they did it is because they needed to fund having extra cameras, having a larger crew, and getting them out there and being in more places at one time.
Yeah.
And that has been massively noticeable this year. The amount of people they have out there covering, and how where they are on the course, is so much more widespread than it was early last year.
Yep.
So that's been really awesome to see, because I'll tell you what, like in the wintertime when I want to just rewatch one of these events, I'm going to watch Jomez or Gatekeeper,
Yeah.
or GK Pro. That's just where I'm going to be, because I can watch an entire tournament of
In an
lead
hour.
cards in the same, well, not an hour, but an entire tournament of lead cards in the same amount of time it takes to watch a single live broadcast, which is
Oh,
generally four
entire
hours
tournament. Yeah.
an entire tournament of lead cards in the same amount as one round. So that's not going to change for me. When the winter comes around, I'll be watching a lot more Jomez and all of that kind of stuff. But they have stepped up their game so much and have given us the ability to watch the non lead cards at a good quality this year. I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm. No reason not to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially when you talk about, years past, Waco's a big one. How many times have we seen a chase card player win Waco?
Yeah, it's
It
often.
just happened, because
Yeah.
Waco is such a like 50% skill, 50% luck type of course that anything can happen on that final day. And having that live coverage to be able to see it when somebody on chase card or third card gets hot, you're gonna see that, and you're not gonna see that on post produced. They'll talk
You
about it.
know
They'll
how
say,
hard it was for
"Congrats,
me.
congrats to so and so for eagling this hole."
Right. You said 50% luck, 50% skill. You know how hard it was for me to say not 100% concentrated power or will. Like it was hard. Okay. I missed everything you said after that. It was just in my head the whole song. Um
Bro, when I was like 13, that was part of my hype up playlist when I was
exactly.
like playing
Oh,
baseball. I
yeah.
was warming up to that song on repeat.
It put me there. I was like, "Oh yeah. I'm ready to
Oh
go
yeah, the
now."
flashbacks.
Yep,
The
I'm ready to
flashbacks are
go.
happening. Oh, that's awesome. Well, let's dive into the actual tournament
All
now.
right, yeah.
First things first, congratulations to Valerie Mandajano. Um, Not the biggest surprise that she won, but definitely not anywhere close to a considered favorite to win.
Right.
So huge come up for her. Um, but yeah, that was huge. And on the other side, no surprise. If you guys listened last week, um, I called it. It was not a surprise. McBeth is out for blood this year.
Yeah.
You know, if you guys are here, you saw that we titled this episode "McBeth Washed Up?" question mark, because
Yeah.
that's all we heard last year, all year long until USDGC. McBeth's washed up. He's not good anymore. He's not going to be in contention anymore, and he has come out and just absolutely demolished the first two tournaments in his way.
Yep.
And he had to battle some adversity in both of the tournaments, especially down the stretch of round 2 and 3. You
Yeah.
know,
And, going back to the memorial, some adversity that he um faced, the whole bag situation.
yeah. Yeah, so if you guys have not seen it yet, I'm not going to spoil what happens, but GK Pro released their skins match for Waco today. And in the interview, Paul McBeth talked about how he left his tournament bag in his RV in Waco when he dropped it off and left for Arizona. So he went out there and played that first round, that 1108 rated round, brand new bag. Everything
Brand new
was new
bag.
in that bag. Just went out there, had no idea what, I mean, he had an idea because he even said like, look, the beauty of that course is I can rely on everything overstable out there and, not play bad.
Yeah.
But to still, it's not just he didn't go out there and not play bad. He threw two nearly 1100 rated rounds in a
Yeah.
row with a brand new bag. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Averaged
ridiculous
1104 over 2 rounds
with a brand new bag.
with a brand new
With
bag.
discs he had never thrown except for that weekend,
Yep.
until that weekend. I mean, now I will
Wild.
say if you guys watched any of the coverage for Memorial, the new bag did show its face in the last two rounds. Particularly that was out on Vista, De La Vista, of course.
Right.
You could see that he was definitely like he wasn't getting either the distance that he wanted. I actually had speculated that he was hurt because I was like, man, his forehand distance is not good right now. He's coming up like 30 feet short every single time. He's not even pushing past the basket, let alone coming to the pin,
Right.
and just. But yeah, so I had actually speculated quietly. I didn't tell anybody, but I thought he was hurt. I thought he was injured and that he was going to have to lay off the forehand this year a little bit.
Yep. Turns out it was just
But
not
no,
his season
turns out it
discs.
was just a brand new bag that there's a lot more forehands on that course than there were um, on Fountain Hills, and
Right.
he just wasn't ready.
Yeah. He did good.
Ridiculous,
He
still
did well. He
insane.
enough to win, which is also a point that I wanted to cover. McBeth has now won 2 straight tournaments. Um, Valerie also won 2 straight tournaments.
That is correct
Um,
because
that
she didn't play.
she played the A tier after. Um,
Yeah,
I don't know if she played Las Vegas Challenge or not, but
I don't remember
it
seeing
was,
her. I don't
uh,
remember seeing either of the
yeah, I don't
Marianas out there.
think so. But either way, I do know that the A tier that both her and Mason won um, kind of propelled her into, playing very well at this one. And
Yeah,
I was impressed with her shots. Her form is immaculate.
yeah, and more than just her form, her shot selection was very good.
Yeah, which
That was one of the things we had talked about pre-show. My dark horse pick to be a podium finisher was Macy Valadiaz,
yep.
and she played very well, and she battled a lot of adversity out there. But her disc or her shot selection out there on the course, especially in round three, I'm not gonna lie, I was really confused a lot of times out there by her discs and her shot choices. Um, they didn't make sense to me considering what her strengths in that game were. And I know I gave her a little bit of a break as well because it's her first time out at Waco.
Yeah, placing
But that,
sixth. Let's
but that
go.
was that was one of those things that. But that's the difference between sixth and first a lot of times, especially at a course like Waco, where we just said 50% luck on any hole that you go out there and play, especially in that center nine that's all in the woods.
Right.
Shot selection and disc selection is so important out there. And she did that immaculately. And she proved that she knew exactly the type of shots that she wanted to throw on every hole out there. She proved that on hole 17 in the final round.
Yep.
I mean, that so much trust in that disc and the shot type.
Yes.
That was
Absolutely.
I don't have anything else to say. That was proof
Yeah.
that she trusted her game plan.
I am I'm just so glad we've got disc golf back.
Oh, me too.
It's awesome. And Justin in the chat said Mr. Bacon cleans up nice.
Got to clean up every now and again, right? Can't
Yeah.
just be a rag muffin every day.
A rag
uh,
muffin.
yeah, rag muffin. Rag muffin.
Uh, but yeah, so congratulations to Valerie on her very first Elite Series win. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it'll probably be the first of many to come over the next several years. Um, I don't see her slacking off any. really think that she will just continue to get better. Um, Along with the field, though, this is not
Yeah,
just to her. I feel like the entire FPO field is just going to continue to advance,
yeah.
and we're just going to get better disc golf week in and week out.
Do you think this would be a good time for Daniel's drama segment? I've got
Uh,
drama. This one's drama. This is a prediction drama,
oh,
so it makes it
prediction
even
drama. All right, let's go. Let's
prediction
hear it.
drama.
Run it into the
And
Daniel's drama. Hang on. Are you ready
I
for
want to
a
be
drum
honest,
roll?
can't even hear it from my side.
Well, they can hear it maybe.
Maybe. I
Discord's
gotta be
very
honest.
good at knocking that out.
It's not a happy one. It's not a happy
No.
one. I think this is the only Elite Series event or major Valerie wins all year.
Mm, that's hot. That's a hot. That's a
It's
hot
a hot
take.
take. Um,
Somebody's gonna have to clip
Number
this because I
one,
want to rub it in his face in a couple weeks. All right, just
when she wins again.
oh yeah,
Look, I could be completely wrong, but here's the thing. The one thing I want to point out is that we had somebody going into hole 17 of round 2 with a lead that was insurmountable and just absolutely collapsed from hole 17 through the end of the entire next day. Absolutely collapsed. But that doesn't happen. Those type of monumental collapses do not happen often. And if Valerie wants to stay competitive and win, especially as we hit the Eastern swing, she needs to be tip top shape from round 1 through round 3 or 4, right? And
yep,
she played an immaculate round 3. One of the best FPO round 3s that we have ever seen at Waco.
yeah, it was great.
But with the Europeans back over, if she wants to win again, she's going to need to do that for 3 or 4 rounds,
Yep.
um, as opposed to just one and a half. So that's my hot take. That's Daniel's drama. So if you guys don't agree, let us know in the comments. Send me a tweet, send me a message. Instagram Ethan to tell him he's smart and I'm dumb. I don't really care.
Woo.
That's my drama this week, man. I think that's pretty dramatic. That's a bold statement in my opinion.
it is a bold statement. It is a
It
bold
is a bold
statement.
statement, but I think I'm right. Now that being said, 100% not going to be your last Elite Series or major win. She's going to win
So
a lot coming going forward.
here's
I
so
just don't think it's going to be this year.
can we go into the Ethan drama? Is that a segment I can add?
Oh, Ethan drama?
Ethan drama. All right, you
Ethan
ready
never
for
has
this?
drama. I'm so excited.
All right, this is some drama. I've been thinking about this all day.
Okay.
All right, in the top 10, how many dynamic disc players do you have?
In the top 10 rankings wise,
No, FPO in Waco.
how do you mean?
So you've got Valerie placing first. You've got Macy placing sixth, right?
Right. And then you consider Trilogy a team, so you could include,
You
the
could,
rest
but
of them
I'm
in
just
there.
going dynamic only. Okay. So you've got those two women that are in the top six. All right.
Right.
And I'm wondering, did dynamic pay the wrong player?
Well,
It's now nope.
I
Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. um
you asked me a question and now he's not even going to let me answer it.
nope.
This is dramatic.
Yes. All right. So I get that Macy doesn't have the tour experience yet. She's gonna set herself up well for a new contract. I think. She came out first tournament, got in off the wait list, and placed sixth. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
on the last like a couple of days basically like
Exactly.
I think I didn't see her name actually sneak in until like Thursday or Friday,
Yeah.
the week before the Tuesday she or the Monday she drove away.
Exactly. And then Val is doing, big things as well. I mean, getting wins. This is what Kona did last year. And Kona, however, I do like her new putt. Once she gets that dialed in, I think she'll be much better off. But it was just a little drama that I was like, you know, And the two that placed in the top six are probably making less than Kona is per year together. You know what I mean? And I'm all for everybody getting paid. So I think that will help their statuses.
Well, since you're here, and this is because we had, um, you know, the last tournament at LVC, we did our um, best performance or our most underrated performance, and then our most worrisome performance. And I want to do most worrisome performance again. But I don't want to do best underrated performance, but I do want to say best breakout performance. Somebody who maybe didn't have a name out there that really came out and did something awesome.
Right.
Um, but let's start with the most like worrisome performance. And I don't think it's any question that both you and I are probably picking Kona.
Yes.
It's not because it's not close. Like I don't know how to explain how far from close it was. She finished the tournament 21 over par.
Yeah.
That is a 40 stroke difference from how she finished last year.
Yeah.
40 strokes. And don't get me wrong, round one, horrific conditions. Okay.
Yes.
I get that. I understand round one was not great conditions. However, round two was immaculate conditions. And she finished three, four, five, six, seven, six over par.
Yeah.
6 over par, the best conditions of the entire tournament. I mean, don't get me wrong, that putt is much better and it looks good and it's going to be good.
Yes.
But now I'm starting to worry about her throwing as well.
Yeah. Maybe
She's
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 focusing so
she is
much.
starting yeah, she's starting to throw so poorly that she has me worried in the same way that I was worried about Haley King after
All stars.
All Stars,
Yeah.
right? That's big.
Yeah.
Could she still potentially be one of the most talented players out there? Absolutely. We know she's talented.
Yes.
But at this point, I have to start wondering, besides her two wins last year, where's her mental game at this point? And how is she going to battle this adversity going through the rest of the season? Because this was a devastating blow.
Yeah.
The
And
only
she's
the
having
only notable name, the only notable name that finished below her was Elaine King.
yeah.
And it's only notable because of what she has done in her past, not because of the player she is today.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and don't get us wrong, we are Kona fans. Like we like Kona. Um, you know, at, but a lot of her contract did come from her social media presence, right? And
Well,
during the
and the fact
turn,
that she played well enough last year to be an all-star.
hmm
We can't count that out.
no,
Like,
at all. I mean, she did great last year. I'm not discounting that, but her social media presence is one of the best in the FPO. She does move discs. Um,
absolutely.
that's awesome for a company. That is a no-brainer contract, you know. However, when she's going through a tournament and she's having to disconnect her social media because of the way she's playing, that's got to be stressful. Um, and I really hate to see her going through that. Um, I we hope the best for her. We hope that she gets everything lined out and you know starts getting that putt dialed in enough to where she can really kind of learn those discs even better. Um, because there are players like Valerie that seem to just come in and fit those discs very well.
Yeah.
Um,
And I have to say, like, watching the disc fly out of her hand while she's throwing them, I don't think it's a lack of confidence in the discs themselves or even a lack of knowledge in the discs at this point. I think she's reached the point with her bag where she knows what she's throwing.
hmm
I think that she purely has a mental block right now.
Yeah,
For lack of a better term, she has the yips,
yeah,
which is exactly what we saw
Evelina.
out of Evelina on both, 17 and 18 in the last rounds. Um, that was just a pure case of the yips. She missed two tap-ins, pure tap-ins, not because of wind, but because she was not strong mentally out there on the course,
Yep.
and the only thing that really is hard for me to see with Kona is seeing how talented she is as an actual player and making the mechanical changes to make herself a better player like she's done this offseason and then get blocked up by one of the worst blocks you could possibly have because it's not a
Right.
technique thing. You can't just watch slow motion and
Yeah.
say that's a tick, I need to get rid of that and clean out that hitch right there or change the spin I'm putting on this putt or anything like that. She needs to find a way to get past this mental block, and that is the hardest thing to do in sports.
Yeah.
There are literally players who have been the best or were supposed to be the best in all of these sports that had to see psychiatrists just to get them back up to a competing level, let alone the talent level that they actually have.
Right. I mean,
So
the
I
mental
that's
side of thing
that's
is
my
huge. So, hopefully they can get that figured out
yeah.
and back on track.
I really hope she can get out there. I think I haven't seen enough of it out of Evelina to say that it was more than just a one round nerves kind of a thing.
Hmm.
You know, that for her, it could have been something as simple as not seeing or not paying attention to the scorecard and looking at it one time and realizing where you were and just kind of getting too giddy, too much adrenaline, or getting those kind of single round yips. Um, but, you know, I hope they can get it taken care of. You got to be a quarterback out there. You throw that interception, you got to move on to the next play.
Right. Yep.
You got to move on. You can't sit there and think about it. You got to move on.
That's right. Now, moving forward onto the other side of the spectrum from sadness to happiness, um, how about DD's marketing team? Like, was that not brilliant? About they seen that shot on 17 and they immediately got to work on some Valerie Mondahano getaways. Like,
Well,
immediately.
so I don't. You weren't on Twitter that day, right?
No, no.
Okay, so immediately after she threw that shot and birdied it, Twitter blew up. Everybody was
What disc? What
asking,
disc? What
"What
disc?
was this disc?" And Dee Dee responded immediately to the hype that was going to receive.
Yep. And
Impressive.
that was awesome. Spot on. She it didn't even have to be a tournament win. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't have to be a Waco disc or, whatever. It was just a Valerie Mondahano getaway. And they sold out. Like,
Yep.
it brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, that's the way that a marketing team uses professional players. That is how you make money on the disc golf scene.
See a need, meet a need, and you can't do it too late. It's got to
Yep.
be there.
It was I was just massively
I
impressed. Like, it
I
was
can't
wow to me.
explain to you how many people are going to get that disc and start throwing it, and they're going to hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, but
The
it
amount of
doesn't
people who
matter.
are
They
going to
made the
put it, yeah,
sale. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
There are going to be so many people who get that disc and say, "This is not what I ordered." Yeah, this is exactly what you ordered, and she threw it to perfection.
Yeah. Um
but
it's
I mean, that's what you got to do. That's the name of the game.
but it turned over, right? And
Yeah,
it's like a Thunderbird. So she's got that thing beat in hard. All right.
yeah,
So for just so everyone out there listening that gets one of these getaways, go out there, throw it in the gravel, throw it against trees, throw it
yeah.
into the road, run over it with your car several times. Just beat that thing in if you want that kind of flight. All right, that's put it in the dryer with some tube socks. That's fine.
Okay,
Um,
it's not that overstable. Oh my god. Okay, for you guys that don't know, like the actual flight numbers and the flight path for like a high arm speed person, it's like a slow destroyer. Okay, it's overstable, but it'll turn over. It's a 9 speed instead of a 12 speed. But that's basically what it is. Doctor Genius over here is talking about it like it's the beefiest felon of all time.
oh oh, man, I'm
But
just
but
saying
no,
for all the
seriously.
people,
But
like they're gonna have to
but
beat it
you're
up if
you're
you want that
100%
kind of flight.
You're well, I don't know about that. I mean, it came out of her hand flat. She turned it really nicely. There was also a headwind there, you have to remember.
Yeah, it was
So
a
she
head
picked a
cross.
disc and
So
yeah, and so she picked a disc she knew she could trust to not full flip over to the right side OB there.
hmm
And she threw it to perfection. That's not going to happen for most of our viewers or listeners when they throw that disc because
yeah,
they're not going to have the arm speed to flip that up to flat or flip it up to turn.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
But
Justin in chat, he's saying that it's his favorite or very decent hyzer flip disc.
mhm,
So the one that I have, though, I'm just going off of the one that I have, and um, it flies just like my Thunderbird. It really does.
yep,
But
but throw it now after how much work you've put into your backhand. A lot of
it's
times that
true.
0 to -1 turn area
Yeah,
changes, like the flight changes for you depending on the spin.
yeah.
Spin is so important, and I bet you that would be a hyzer flip now with your backhand, the way
Probably
that you've
would.
changed it.
I try to hyzer flip everything. Yeah, I mean I'm hyzer flipping my nuke now, so
Yeah.
it's it's a work in progress. Still can't hyzer flip the force. That just goes into the ground.
It,
But
if you can, if you ever get to the stage where you can hyzer flip a force, just know that your backhand arm speed is at that point officially considered advanced.
yeah,
So you need to, when you see the advanced flight paths and the flight path projection charts, you need to trust that one.
yeah,
Don't think about intermediate or beginner. If you're flipping over forces, you
yeah.
are way above average, my guy.
I'm
So
flipping.
back on
I am flipping over the Onyx really well right now.
my Onyx has finally started to get beat
Yeah,
into a really nice point. So I have the Big Z, which is a little more overstable. You have the ESP,
yeah,
right? So I have
yeah.
the Big Z. It's a little more overstable than yours. So it's
hmm
finally reaching like it's not a true like hyzer flip. I'm not trying to hyzer flip it,
Yeah,
but I get a really nice like right hand turn and a headwind now.
yeah. My
So
hyzer flip forehand with it is really nice because I can get it low. The glide pops it up, and
yeah,
it's it's a very low fast disc, and it does well. I'm very pleased with how it's been flying lately. I hope that it doesn't break in a little too much because I'm throwing it more, but
if it
if it does,
if it
it'll be
does,
backhand primarily.
I
But
mean what I would do is just either order a new one or maybe order a Big Z and
hmm
start beating that in as you're throwing it because that if as that ESP gets a little too flippy, the Big Z will hold it a little bit longer.
yeah,
And the Big Z will probably get beat in right at about the time that the ESP gets too flippy.
right.
So, back to the
Yep.
Waco.
Sorry. Sorry. Tangent there. But yeah,
What
good
about
stuff by DB.
your
So there you go.
don't hit trees, Ethan? Chat's
Well,
telling you not to hit the trees.
all right. Look. Um,
Listen,
trees are my friend. All right. I don't want
trees are
to.
90.
I don't want
Trees
to
are
hit them. Okay.
trees are 90% air. Or Justin, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. I uh. I don't want to hit them. Like they make me. They make me. It's not me. It's not of my own will. Um.
The trees jumped in front of his disc. I
No, they
saw it. I
come at
synced
me,
it.
bro. They come at me. They're literally trying to get me. They are
All right,
out there trying to get me.
give me um your biggest breakout performance at Waco.
MPO or FPO?
FBO. We haven't done anything FBO yet.
Um, FPO. Hmm. Hard to say. I mean, the easy one would be Valerie. Um, however, I don't really want to go that route. Um, I have. Oh, well, what the heck? My stuff. Breakout performance. There it is. All right. So yeah, I could have went with Valerie. However, I'm going with Cat, but not the cat you're thinking of. It's not
What is the
Katrina,
cat? It's a
Alan.
cat. It's
It's
the
the
cat
cat
that
you're
I'm thinking
thinking
of.
of. But yeah, Cat Merch. She was out there, and every time I seen her on coverage, she was the happiest player, like the most energetic. I'm like, yeah, that's Nico's girlfriend for sure. That they match each other. so
Oh
well.
yeah,
Like, did you see the practice round before this for Waco with Nico on it?
the the Jomez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I had it on in the background because I was
Okay.
doing
Well, at the
something.
very beginning of the episode, Nico and Kat were talking. And Nico's like, "Yeah, I really need to wake up." And she's like, "You want me to headbutt you?" And he's like, "Yeah, that might help." She straight conked him right in the forehead. He was like, "Oh my god, that was like a 3 out of a scale of 1 to 10 to death."
This is she's crazy.
Yes. And I was like, "She matches Nico real well."
But did you see that throw in too
Uh,
that she had
I no,
on
I didn't get
Sunday?
to see
She
it.
threw it.
Like I said,
Okay,
I
I'll
wasn't in
find
a.
it. I'll find it and send it to you. That throw in was absolutely nuts. I mean, it was one of the most impressive throw ins I've ever seen, and it was for birdie.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like it was just a forehand flick out of the bushes
And straight
into
in.
just right into the basket. Yeah, it
Heck
was
yeah.
absolutely nuts. So we picked the same person. I'm gonna give it as a tie to Valerie and Kat. Valerie for picking up that big win
Yeah.
because it's her first Elite Series win, I believe. Um, but Kat, I also wanted to give it to Kat because one of the things, if you guys listened a couple of weeks ago when we recapped LVC, I even mentioned it like in passing how much I liked what Kat was doing out at
Mhm.
LVC,
I do remember.
but on the back nines of almost every day that she had a really good round, the back nines were sketchy. And round two, the back nine was really sketchy for her. She didn't, if I get it back here, her back nine, she took three birdies in a row from 12 through 14, took a bogey on 15 and a double bogey on 18,
Right.
right? And in the first round as well, she only took one birdie on 10, and then on 13 through 18, she took um, four bogeys in those last five. But on the final round, which is where it really counted for her, she went out there, took a trip on one, and bounced back completely. She birdied two, missed three, and then five straight birdies
Yeah.
from four through eight. I mean, the mental game to get yourself back on track after taking.
A
I mean,
triple bogey.
she was on Chase Card too,
Mhm.
if I remember correctly. So to take that trip right off of hole one,
Yeah.
and then to have the mental capacity to come back, erase that completely, and take a couple more birdies as well, and then only have one bogey and two birdies in the back nine, which is where she struggled the most
Yeah.
since LVC. Kudos.
Yeah.
That's all I could say.
Great job.
It was a great performance.
Yep. I
What
think we'll be
about
seeing her in the mix
yeah?
quite a
We'll
bit.
be seeing her name around for
Mhm.
sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Most disappointing performance on MPO side.
On MPO side, Simon. Um.
Really,
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I just, I'm a Simon fanboy. All right. I Simon is my favorite pro, and he probably always will be. But I was just so excited to see him play, and then I for him to miss cash and um place 60th, I believe, is where he placed. That was kind of heartbreaking for me. And that was
I I completely disagree. Actually, I mean, was the finish great? No, but did you listen to the press conference?
I didn't.
Did you listen to his interview?
Mm-mm.
He's been putting every single day, but he has not thrown a disc on an actual disc golf course since before the baby was born,
Yeah.
until one practice round before. He had one practice round before Waco. That was it. I mean, I kudos to go out there and perform that well when you have not thrown a disc on a course in 3 months.
Yeah.
I give him kudos for that. I look, was the finish great? No, he had a pretty rough last four holes out on round three, particularly because if you take that out, he cashes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're right.
If you take out those last four holes, he cashes. So kudos to him. He actually looked really good in my mind considering what he said. If we can take what he said at face value and it's true, he hasn't thrown in that long. In actuality, he says, "Oh, I've been throwing in a net as much as I can, but I haven't thrown in a net even in like a month now."
Right.
Um, so, especially with his past injury, he had mentioned that it's not good for him to go that long without throwing. So he really needs to throw more.
Yeah.
I,
He'll get back
I
in the
thought he
swing
looked,
of things. But
yeah,
that was just, it was kind of like a personal one for me.
yeah. So mine is I'm stealing yours from last week, actually, and I'm
Ricky.
going
No?
disappointing performance. No, Scott Stokes,
Oh,
the Stokely.
yeah. We seen him on a
So
little bit of coverage.
saw him
Round
on some
one.
coverage. Yeah. So he went out there and he looked absolutely awful round one. He looked admirable on round two up until the last couple of holes.
Yep.
And then he looked admirable in the front nine of round three. And then he looked really bad for the back nine, basically, when all was said and done. He popped a few birdies in there, but he played over par on the back nine again. Um, and listen, I'm picking this for one reason and one reason only. I think I will finish in the top 50% of the player pools every event this year. And he is now 0 for 2.
Yeah.
0 for 2. Now, again, Waco giveth and Waco taketh away. There's a lot of luck involved out there, but
So
he,
Scott,
he
he
didn't.
missed cash.
Yeah, he
Um,
placed below Simon.
okay.
He
I
placed
didn't notice it.
66 by himself.
Mm. I do. So, one thing that does kind of suck about that is like he goes and tells these charities, he's like, any winnings that I get will go to you. And then he's not winning
And
anything.
yep,
And like, eventually that's gotta do something. That's gotta change. Like, is
yeah.
he still giving money to them out of his own pocket, you think? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how the deal goes.
I don't
You know,
either.
it depends on his deal with them.
Yeah.
But you know, if we take him out of the equation because I picked him purely on the fact that he said that at the beginning of the year and he's
Yeah.
now on his second chance and failed the second time. If we take that out, then my pick is Paul Ulibarri because
Yeah.
wow, he looked bad.
Did you see his post?
He looked bad, bad. No, I didn't.
It was um heartfelt, I guess. Um he really let his emotions out there, and he said, let's see here. Uh,
Shane, you should see me when I'm clean shaven.
yeah,
You think
that's
I look
right.
like a child now? I'm 27 and I go back to 12 when I'm cleanly
Um,
shaven. At least I've got something on my face.
okay. Well,
Did he take it down?
he did, I guess.
Oh,
Not
okay.
there. Oh, it could have been a
Well,
story. I
oh
bet that's
yeah.
what it
Well,
was. But yeah, he was very upset. Especially since it was the day that he launched the Ulibarri um
foundation.
Ulibarri Leadership Foundation. Yeah, on Instagram, he had said it in the Gomez video
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah. What about best breakout performance?
would it be wrong of me to do 2 times in a row? Like, I can't get enough of it. Luke Humphreys. I I
Yeah, it
it's
would be a surprise performance, but I don't know that it would be a breakout. So I'm going to say no because he broke out at
dang it.
LVC, but
It's
this was
just
a
like,
this was another surprise. So
so.
I'm gonna nix you on that and give me something else.
Okay, well, breakout performance for the tournament is going to be a lot harder. But breakout performance for me would have been Nick Carl um, after round one. That was impressive, my dude. Like,
Yeah,
shooting the hot round, getting tied in a three-way tie going into the round two. Um,
shooting the hot round in the worst conditions of the weekend.
exactly. And that's why he was so upset with how he ended up missing cash. Um,
Oh
because
yeah,
he was in the lead after round one in the worst conditions, and then going into round two and three where there was better conditions and more scoreable, he went backwards. But I'll tell you what I think a lot of it is kind of like, think about it like the Patriot, right? Um, they want the bad weather. They like that because it puts them at an advantage. And I think Nick
The
is
same thing
kind
with
of
Green
this,
Bay.
yeah, Green Bay's same way. And I think Nick is kind of the same way. I I think I think the weather that he played in this past winter really kind of prepared him to know how he can throw in those type of clothes, in the gloves, with the hand warmers, with the hood on. You know,
Right.
that definitely helped, and I think that that probably hurt some of the others. Whereas in round 2 and 3, here came the field. You know, so yeah, that would be my breakout performance. Regardless of how he placed, still a great tournament by Nick. And more to come. I hope to still see him up there. So,
Right.
yeah, but that's me. What about you?
I'm gonna go with for the whole tournament as opposed to a single round.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of this is another one that I really like. I want to give it to two people, but um, at the same time, I kind of don't. But I'm gonna go with Aaron Gossage. Um,
Yep.
it is number one, his best place finish at an Elite Series event down there, tied for fifth, one stroke off of tying for third.
Yep.
So easily the best place that he's taken besides his seventh at OTB last year.
Yep.
Um,
He also got third at the
and
Memorial last week.
yes, but I didn't want to count that because it was an Elite Series,
Yeah.
right? So I didn't. I kind of I discounted that in terms of my ranking of where
Right.
he placed. But to go out there and do that again at Waco, not bad. I mean,
Yeah.
this dude's got a massive
He
forehand.
really does.
Absolutely fun to watch him throw a forehand, and Waco's a great place to throw a lot of forehands. Luckily enough for him, but he's going to be able to even with his forehand go out there, and he has a really good backhand. It's not as accurate as his forehand,
Right.
but he's got whip on that backhand.
Yeah. He's got
So
some power, some Colorado
he
power.
he's definitely got. I don't know that he has that reined in yet to be considered a top power player, but
Right.
if he could rein in that backhand with a little bit better accuracy, he could be up there because
Yeah.
he's got arm speed. No surprise given his lineage
Yeah.
that he's got arm speed,
Right.
but he has it, and the massive forehand is going to take him really far as well. I think because he's deadly with it in terms of accuracy,
Yeah.
and it's got great power. Um,
That was a
I was also
great pickup by Discraft. It really
yeah,
was. I think they'll see a big return on investment on him.
yeah, absolutely. And then, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, awesome. Um, but I was very impressed with Isaac Robinson. So even though he's not my pick, I'm going to give him a little honorable mention. That is a great finish. I know he placed really well at a USDGC last year, but
Mm-hmm.
still really good to see him come out and be competitive early on in the season this year
Yep.
because this is going to be, I don't think he's doing a full tour this season. But I know he's going to do a, about half of a tour.
Yeah. I see where Prodigy put out that they had 9 players in the top 25.
Yeah,
That's impressive,
absolutely.
especially after losing Chris and Kat
Yeah,
and Matteo. Granted, Matteo wasn't there, but still,
yeah,
that's 3 of your top players that are gone, and you're
yeah,
still pumping in the top 25.
absolutely.
So, heck yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to my tail of the tape for the week.
There you go. Let's
So
get
if you
it.
guys, this is, only the third time that we've done this, but if you guys don't know tail of the tape, it's going to be my random stat. This one's kind of a stat, kind of not really a stat, but I'm going to count it anyways because it is a number. My tail of the tape, 151.5. Can you tell me what that is?
151.5. That is the number of tour points that Luke Humphreys has.
You got it. You got it, my guy. Now,
Yeah, let's go.
can you tell me how many points that is above second place?
Who's in second place?
That Calvin Heimberg and Gannonburg
Are tied?
tied.
Okay. Um, so he's at 150. 70 points higher.
A little bit high,
A little bit
not
high.
not quite that large,
Okay.
but it's a 42.5 point
That's
gap.
still massive. I was
Massive.
I was thinking like big because just I,
Yeah.
Luke.
Luke. That's massive for two events into the year to
Yeah.
be the name that nobody thinks of as a competitive disc golfer, but everybody knows.
Yeah, it's awesome.
To ha- to hold after two events a 40-point lead essentially on the rest of the competition, and who could have ever imagined that that name would have been Luke Humphreys?
I'm ecstatic about it.
How how could you not have gone like come into this situation and thought it's,
Luke.
it's not Calvin, it's not Gannon, it's not Paul, obviously he didn't play, LVC. And it's not Ricky or Kevin.
Right?
What's another name? Kyle Klein. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a lot of names on here. There's a lot of names that you would have guessed at the beginning of the season would have been the points leaders
You
or
know,
close to the points
I
leader.
had heard that I don't know where I heard this from. It was from another podcast. Shout out to them. I don't remember. Um but he only needs one more top 3 finish and he's locked into the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship.
Yeah,
Locked in. He
yeah,
has only got to get to 200 points. That's crazy.
yeah.
Only in the
I
that blows my mind that he's 2 Elite Series into the tournament or into the season, and
and
that's just wild.
at this point, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't make it because he's locked into every foreseeable tournament through the Masters Cup,
Yeah,
which is a silver series.
and he gets
Whereas
points just for playing them. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
he's gonna
But
get points, and he. So you're talking about a full season for him, anyways.
yeah,
I mean, Calvin and Gannon are not playing Music City or Tallahassee, and they're not playing Masters Cup. Paul McBeth isn't playing again until Champions Cup. I thought he was playing Belton, but it doesn't show him as registered right now. Oh wait,
well,
no, yes he is.
yeah, I was about
He's
to
and
say
then
he should be there.
he's skipping Music City this year, and then
That's not surprising.
playing at playing at Tallahassee, which that actually did surprise me that he's skipping Music City for Tallahassee.
The whole
But
the whole debacle with Music City that Paul had last year. Um,
yeah, but also you have to consider that we're being run by Pro Tour this year, not National Tour.
it yeah, it's true, but
And I think that's going to make a massive difference. Also, being that it's a silver series, there's
and
not as
one
much
thing
on
that
it.
is different too is Brody is playing Music City where he didn't last year.
Yeah.
Um,
The one that's still surprising for me to look at is the fact that Drew Gibson is not registered for another event until Champions Cup.
he's not playing until Champions Cup. That's crazy. Yeah, like he's
That's
avoiding the whole
wild.
Texas swing just because he's moving. But
Yeah, but I can't like I don't see why he wouldn't go play in Tallahassee.
yeah,
Give yourself a welcome back before going to Champions because he that means he's going to go into Champions Cup cold.
yeah,
So either he just doesn't care and that's going to be his warm up to get back into the Pro Tour stretch, which is possible, but it's a major. I mean, I don't know. That it's just weird to me, but I
yeah,
understand why.
yeah.
I get it. But yeah, that's super funny. But yeah, anyways, who would have thunk
Who
two
the thunk
events?
it? Yeah.
Who would have thunk it? And yeah, I tweeted about it, and GK Pro actually retweeted it, and we got a ton of likes on
Heck
that. That was
yeah.
cool. We got like 30 likes.
Heck
I
yeah. We
was
love that. You love to see it.
love to see it. Now, I'm gonna send a message here to GK Pro, and we're gonna record this. I'm gonna strip this section, and I'm gonna tweet it directly at GK Pro. All right.
Okay.
This is my message to GK Pro. Luke Humphreys has shown what he can do out on the course during the actual like events now. That means he's earned himself a spot on the skins match. You're gonna have to find somebody to run the match one time and let him play along because he's earned it.
Hey, I just want to see him get out there and get that ace pot. You know what I mean? He deserves it. It's a little
Could
bonus.
you could you imagine
Oh my
that
god.
the host getting that 10K ace pot
Oh
on his first
my.
try?
Imagine it hole one, bro.
Oh my
Imagine.
gosh. That would be nuts. The world wants to see it, GK. The
Yep,
world wants to
the
see
world
it.
wants to see it.
All
So
right.
yeah, that one's got to go out to GK. Um,
Yeah, I
you
think
know,
that's a pretty solid recap at
yeah,
this exact moment for Waco.
it is. Um,
So I think that means move on to another segment.
yeah, I'm down. Little, who am I? What do you think?
Who am I? Yeah,
Who
let's do
am
it.
I? Um, you want to go first, or you want me to go
Let's do it.
first?
Let's do it. MPO always goes first. That way we'll
All
rotate
right,
back and forth
all
as we rotate
right.
picking them.
So, for those of you that are new and are listening, first time listeners, first time watchers, the way this works is I will give some random stats about the tournament or about the specific player, and with those stats and little tidbits, he has to guess who I am, and therefore the game, who am I? We will rotate every week. Um, I will be an MPO and then an FPO, MPO, FPO, and so on and so forth, and he will do the opposite. So, without further ado, who am I? I play for Discmania. I missed cash because of a double bogey. I had 0% circle 2 putting, but I had 85% circle 1x putting.
Simon Lazat.
I knew that would throw you off.
Mm,
Casey
top line.
White.
Oh, Casey, what? You got to give me a chance, bro.
Nope, you get one and done.
uh, Bull. I call bull. He didn't even give me a chance for a rebut.
There's not that
uh,
many Discmania players. I had to take it
I
when
mean,
I
that's
could get it.
fair.
But yeah,
That's
that
fair.
was a little tricky because we had just talked about Simon earlier about the whole 17 and 18, and that's the reason he missed cash. I was like, this is playing into my hand.
Well, I was gonna guess that was the player I was gonna guess before
Before I said
you
that,
had. Yeah, before you said anything, I was like, he's gonna pick Simon Lazat.
oh, see, but yeah.
Wait, so okay, so what were your stats?
So
Just out of curiosity.
in the third round, he missed cash, um, per double bogey, um, 0% circle 2 putting, and 85% circle 1x putting.
Just in the third round.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was almost right. He only had Simon only had like 50% circle 1x putting that
Yeah.
last day, but he did have a 0% because that's what I was going off of was the 0%
0%.
circle 2 putting, which is I knew Simon had a 0%. Okay,
Right.
so I did make an educated guess based on the stats I knew for
Yeah, you
sure
did well.
and what.
I tricked
So
you.
okay,
It's fine. It's fine.
well I just didn't know the circle 1x stat.
Yeah. That was the reason, because I usually would just do 3, right? But I was like, I seen that him and Simon both had 0.
No, you did 3.
And no, well, I did the Discmania thing too, but yeah.
Yeah, so but it's their sponsor or their
And
hometown
then 3 stats.
and then 3.
Okay, okay.
You did it right.
Cool. All right. Who are you?
Okay.
All right, brain, tap in
You
here.
gotta you gotta start giving me one thing you have to start giving me though is that first stat is supposed to be a 10 place window.
Mm.
Because that's what it's supposed to be. So you told
I
me he
went
missed
with Miss
cash.
Cash. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be like I placed 50 to 60. That
Yeah, that would be hard. It would still have been the same 2 people though. Yeah.
yeah. No, I don't think so because I think it would have
He might have placed in the 40s.
he placed 50 to 60 and Simon placed 60 to 70.
Well, he would have been Simon was 60th.
So 66.
No, Simon was 60th.
He was clean 60?
Yep.
No, you're right.
He
Tied for
was
60.
tied with Nick Carl for 60th.
Oh, in case he was tied for 50.
Yep.
Exactly.
So,
Okay. So it wouldn't have made a difference.
no.
But all right. But I got a good one for you.
All right.
All right. I'm sponsored by Innova.
That narrows
I
it down this year.
placed Yeah.
Shots fired.
I'm I'm sponsored by Innova. I placed in the top 10. I hit 25% circle two putts for the entire weekend, and I had a 30% birdie rate.
So 25% circle two.
Yep.
33% birdie rate.
30% even.
30% birdie rate. And what was the other
Mhm.
one? What was the other stat?
I placed in the top 10.
Oh, place in the top 10. Okay. So Innova players inside the top 10. You have Evelina. You have Kat. Um, I'm drawing a blank on everyone else.
I'll give you one more hint, and I don't know how it's going to help you. That 25% circle two putting rate ranked her first in the whole tournament.
Hmm. Well, it wasn't Evelina. So, sorry. I'm gonna go with Cat Merch.
It is Cat Merch.
Woo!
I already had it picked out before the show, and I was gonna change it after
Yeah.
we talked about her because it became way too easy after we talked about her,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But I figured I'd throw you a bone, even it up between us.
There we go. 1-1, baby. 1-1.
1-1, baby.
We tied up now. All right. So yeah, there's the Who Am I segment. And you want to go straight into the disc guessing game?
Yeah, let's go straight into it.
All right. I'm gonna set a 1-minute timer. I have to be the one to guess the disc this time. You already have your disc in mind, correct?
I do.
All right.
Let me just pull it up so I know everything
Okay.
about it, so I can answer quickly for you.
Sorry, everybody. I have a weird cough right now, and I don't know why, but I know it's annoying to audio listeners, and I am very sorry. I do apologize.
You've been smoking the cigarettes.
Chocolate. It's the chocolate.
Ozzy.
uh,
Sharon. Sorry.
just so y'all
I've been
know,
smoking for 30 years.
he is very good at improv. Yeah.
Yeah, those were not good. But they
No,
were
no,
fun.
but you are good at it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, and go. Is it Trilogy?
No.
Discraft?
No.
Innova?
Yes.
Distance Driver?
Yes.
Overstable?
No.
Okay. Strike?
No.
Is it -2 fade? Or negative 2 turn?
No.
Is it more than -2 turn?
Yes.
Mamba?
No.
Roadrunner? That's
No.
fairway. And it is not one of the Discmania originals.
No.
It is the 3 seconds out. I don't know.
Final guess.
Final guess is the turn.
Yes.
Well, I got the turn.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, struggling. Dude, you don't understand how bad I wanted to say Daedalus because it's such a cool word. I struggled so hardly with the Daedalus. So much pressure. I seen it get to 3 seconds and I was like, freak
Yeah,
out.
I was gonna say, so next time next time we do this, whoever's the answering player
Yeah.
should not have the clock in front
No,
of them
please no.
because
I looked down and I was like, huh,
I
15.
saw your face switch from um logical explanation and thinking process to pure panic when you look down at the timer. And you lost all ability to
Uh,
think after
and you was
that.
like, final guess, and I was just like, turn. Hey, it worked.
uh
Just go with a bird. You'll be halfway right.
yeah, that was not a bad one though.
That was a good one. I like that. That was a
That
good
was
one.
hard. It was just enough to stump you, but
It
easy
was,
enough for
yeah,
you to get it on your final guess.
yeah, like it.
We'll decide
Good
later
one.
whether that counts for a point or half a point or who
Yeah,
knows what.
I at least deserve half. I got it right. It just wasn't in the time limit. I don't deserve
Yeah.
a full point. I'll give you that.
Okay, that's what we'll do. So final guess is outside the time limit,
I
half a
mean, half a
point,
point, and in the
and you
time limit will mean 1 point.
will get your full point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, but that still gives you a half a point lead right now.
Yes. Let's go. Let's
That's
go. Let's
because
go.
I well, yeah, no, yes, no, yes, no. I don't know. Last week was weird because we did the two disc thing,
Yeah, but you still got one.
but I'm
So
gonna say I didn't get it because I didn't get it in within 1 minute. So I'll take a half a point then as well.
okay, that'll work.
So because we did the two discs for 2 minutes, and I'm not gonna lie, if you guys were watching this for the listeners, you really should have seen his face. Like the internal moment where he switched from um like cognitive thinking to just pure panic thinking. It was instantaneous and it was harsh. His brain ceased to function properly at that exact moment. So, and that was kind of the same thing that happened to me last week where we had the two discs
Yeah.
because I got through the first disc and then I got through the second disc and I had to wipe. Like the hardest part for me was wiping everything I knew about the disc that I had just gotten correct
Yeah.
and then reset my brain for a second disc. And it was that
It's
those last 30
difficult.
seconds were pure panic.
It's fun, but difficult. Uh, yeah, y'all should definitely try this with your friends for sure. But all right. I mean, I think that pretty much covers everything, right?
Yeah, you want
I
to
mean, we went ahead and knocked her on out.
yeah, like I said at the beginning of the episode, we are going to cover Belton. We're just going to do it in a little bit of a different way.
Yeah.
Um and then the one thing that we didn't do this week, and I apologize, it was my job. I mean, we haven't talked about it, but I have assumed the task was tallying the points from hitting the line.
Yeah.
I didn't have time this week, and it's actually like it's kind of difficult to go back and because
It
I have to
is.
re-listen to the podcast, write everything down again, and then go back and check all of their scores from the day.
Yeah.
And I didn't have time. So next week we will recap our hitting the line segment because
There's not a pro tour
um,
this weekend, so yeah.
there's not a pro tour, and then next week is going to be Texas.
Texas States.
And let me just go ahead and look up Texas real quick. No, that's not what I want. Da, 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 da.
Yes.
Nope, that's not
And
it.
yeah. What are you looking
There we go.
up?
That's the one. I'm checking to see how many rounds it is this year.
Mm,
26, 27. So it looks like it's going to be 4 rounds this year. Last year was and the reason I wanted to look is last year was only 3.
right.
Um,
I enjoy
so
the 4 round
that
tournaments.
means 6, 7.
Just
No,
more
it's only
disc golf.
3.
Oh,
It's only 3. They have it
goodness.
listed wrong on PDGA.
Right.
So it's the 25th through the 27th. So it's 3 rounds. What that means is that the lines will not be available to us until after the podcast is live recorded with you guys. So that will actually end up being Tennessee Two's after hours
Right.
um, next week. Is we'll go through the lines and maybe talk about any other topics that kind of came up throughout the week, um, and give that to you. But during the podcast, we will recap the current score before that. So,
All right.
other than that, like I said, no Belton, but look for our video on Saturday evening, late evening, more than likely. Should be about 10-15 minutes long, so it's not going to take too much time out of your night. And that's it for me.
Yep. That's all we have. But I do appreciate everybody that came out. I think we had a very good episode. Had some good laughs. And again, shout out to everybody listening. All of the international countries. That's huge. That's awesome. Just to know that we're being listened to overseas. Um,
Yeah.
Huge step in the right direction. And we're growing every day on all of the social media platforms. If y'all do not care, please leave us a rating on anything that you are listening on, whether it be Spotify, Google, Apple, Podbean, Podcast Addict, Podknife, Facebook. There's all kinds of things now, but we do appreciate it, and those
Yeah.
ratings help other people find our podcast.
Yes. And as you guys, who have started to become more regular listeners, if you haven't already, please go ahead and do us a big favor and hit the subscribe button. That way, you guys are getting the notification for when our podcasts become live for you to listen to as well, especially
Yes,
for you listeners on the audio side. That's going to be really big for you because, for some of you guys who might have looked on Wednesday for our podcast and noticed that it wasn't there, this
yeah,
way it just gives you a better opportunity to get that live notification, especially when we
exactly.
have, technical hiccups where we can't go live like last week.
Yeah,
And with that being said, also make sure that you guys are following us on here on Facebook as well as on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Instagram and Facebook was where we put out our notification last week that we would not be able to go live when we wanted to. And then also, like we mentioned earlier, our Tennessee Two's After Hours is going to be video exclusive. We will not be doing this as an audio for you guys here on the audio feeds. So if you guys want to check that out, like I said, 10 to 15 minutes long, doesn't take much. You will be able to find that on Facebook and YouTube only.
yep, correctamundo. But yep. All right. Well, this is us signing off. We do appreciate everybody. Have a great day and a great night, great rest of your week, and get out there, go throw some discs, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.
Peace.